Welcome back to another epic showdown. Now this is a showdown between two companies, Epique Realty and simpliHOM. You may have seen some of my other videos where I talk about, which cloud brokerage to pick from. You can see that video up here. But today we're going to do a breakdown and we're going to do a side-by-side analysis, of Epique Realty and simpliHOM. Maybe you're one of those people that are kind of figuring out what you want to do, what brokerage is best for you, and maybe you stumbled upon simpliHOM. So what we're going to do is do a nice deep down analysis on both those companies. So there's been a little revolution of really brokerages starting to give back to their agents, really starting to give it another level, add more tech, add more benefits back to their agents. It's funny, what a concept, giving back to your agents. I know a lot of companies have been talking about it for a long time, but we're starting to see it a little bit more often, which is awesome. And I truthfully feel that Epique Realty really started that revolution of really actually giving back to the agents. This has been possible from large brokerages for quite some time, but really most don't. Maybe that's something that you should be asking, why is my broker not doing that for me? So in this video, what we're going to do, we're going to break down the splits, teams, benefits, stock, rev share. So make sure you hang till the end, and then I will also give you my opinion on the growth opportunity for where these companies might be headed. So this is going to be a fun one, and us here at Epique Realty have heard a lot of, how is Epique Realty doing this? How is this even sustainable? How can they keep adding all these benefits? Here's a look at another company essentially doing or starting to do the same thing. Now, before I go into this, I want to make sure to note that simpliHOM does have a couple of different options for their cap per se, or how you can join simpliHOM. They do have the one option, which is sort of like, LPT, basically the LPT, they have the cap of choice, whether you want a low cap or you have the normal cap with all the different benefits and revenue share and all that kind of fun stuff. What I'm going to be comparing is simpliHOM's, what they call simple share, which is kind of like what I call, the Epique Lite version, okay? Where they have the cap and they do have some benefits to go along with it. And hey, if you'd like to learn more about simpliHOM, make sure you reach out. I can put you in touch with a couple of agents that are really doing great things over at simpliHOM. And just, I don't know if it's a disclaimer per se. I'm not here to bash any one company. I truly believe that there's a company for everyone. My company for me, at least at this time, is Epique Realty. Other people's will choose other brokerages, and that's completely fine. That's part of the reason why we do these videos, so you really have a good understanding of what these different companies have to offer. And if you're interested in Epique Realty, make sure you reach out. There's more behind the scenes. There's lots of powerful teams and brokers, here partnered with us at Epique Realty, really collaborating at a deeper level to really help your business and help your agent growth if that's something that you're into. Now, of course, none of this stuff is handed to you on a silver platter. You still have to put in the work to see the results. And make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell if you want to be notified anytime I put out new stuff. So without further ado, let's continue on. So what I'm going to do is I'm really going to utilize the computer a little bit, because that's going to help you visualize a little bit better, when we're breaking down these companies. But just for starters, both companies do offer an 85-15 split. With simpliHOM, this is for their simple share plan. So they both have the 85-15, they both have a $15,000 cap, where Epique Realty does have a $149 monthly fee and simpliHOM has the $99 monthly fee. They do not have a join fee. Epique Realty does have a $99 join fee. Okay, and they both do have a transaction cost that goes along with it, where Epique Realty is a 0.1% transaction fee, which maxes at $500, and simpliHOM, at least at the time of this recording, has a minimum of $199 up to $399 for a transaction fee. And with that, let's jump into the computer and have a closer look at what this looks like. So if we look here again, Epique or simpliHOM does have the two different options, and we're not going to look, right now we're just looking at individual plans. We'll go into the team plans here in a minute, but they have the simplepreneur. We'll do a quick recap on this, right? It's a $5,000 annual cap, $99 a month. It does include the healthcare and a TC, and it does have, the tech suite included, which is, we'll cover a little bit later, Lofty and some of the other things that's also included in there. Whereas the Simply Share, they have the $15,000 annual cap, $99 a month. They get paid on, the 7 levels of revenue share, so you don't have the option for revenue share on the simplipreneur. All features and options included, healthcare included, TCs, and tech suite included. And of course down here, all deals and all plans include base broker for calculated of 1/10% of the contract price with a minimum of $199 and a max of $399. Okay, so that kind of helps you there. And whereas on the flip side, we're Epique Realty, we have the 85-15 split, so that goes to 100% once you cap. The same thing for simpliHOM, $149 a month, 0.1% transaction fee, it caps at $500. No royalties or franchise fees. The same thing applies over at simpliHOM, no annual quarterly fees, free E&O insurance. I believe the same thing applies over there as well, and the $99 join fee. Okay, so I mean, it's going to cost you a little bit more per month, and with the join fee with Epique Realty. So I'm just going to put that out there. But on the flip side, I think the benefits more than pay for it. And there are some exciting things coming up in the very near future. And as I mentioned, they do also have the declining cap. Okay, so that's $15,000 for the first year, and in each year thereafter, until you reach $10,000, it declines every year. So right now, I'm past year one, so now I'm at a $14,000 cap. So that is substantial. I mean, that's $1,000 extra bucks in my pocket. Okay. So next on the list, we're going to dive into teams. Okay. So both companies offer a fantastic team structure. Okay. They both have, as far as I know, 4 different structures. Okay. They have the regular team. They do have a more of a power team, so to speak. They do have a domestic team, and they do have kind of the unofficial marketing team, right? Where there's might be a couple of surfer buddies, that might have a team together, and that's kind of how that works. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of really, again, go into the computer and break that down. So I feel like that kind of gives you a better idea of how that works. So for that, what I'm going to do is start off with, hopefully my mug is out of the way, put myself up there. Hopefully that helps. So you do have the Top Gun team, you do have the flight team. Now, the Top Gun team is my idea of probably the power or the mega team over at Epique Realty, where they have $99 a month. This is for the team leaders, okay? Then they have the different individuals have a different, the team members have a different number, okay? So the team leaders have a $99 a month. They are still at the full $15,000 cap. I should say, I don't know if they have the $15,000 cap. They might have the option still to pick which one, but I imagine that most team leaders will probably go the Simply Share so they can take advantage of the revenue share on top of what their caps are with their teammates. So I'm going to go in with that assumption, okay? So they have the 85-15 split, $99 a month. Team cap is set by the team leader. I don't know if there's a specific minimum. I think most team leaders will set the team cap. I don't know if there's a set minimum of what they can have. If you're at simpliHOM, feel free to chime in and let me know in the comments down below. But Epique Realty, they have a minimum of 5%, okay? For example, I know some companies have a minimum of 20 or 25%. I don't know what theirs is. They do have the transaction coordination available. They have the full tech suite, free healthcare, all features and options. The team member company cap is only $5,000. Another thing I don't know, and I could not find it anywhere, I couldn't access the ICA, but typically if you're a Top Gun team or if you're a higher end team, you typically have to have some type of performance level. I don't know what that performance level is. That would be a very important stat to understand. So hey, if you know that, drop it in the comments down below, because obviously if you're going to reach that upper tier, you'd obviously want your team members to be at $5,000. Okay, otherwise you have the flight team, which is kind of more traditional team. Maybe you're not Top Gun, right? Maybe you're not Maverick or whatever, you're just going a little bit less, but still great volume. So you would be the team leader, again at the $15,000 cap. Same thing, same rules apply. Team cap set by team leader, team member company cap only $7,500. Okay, rev share eligible, transaction, all the same things available there as well. Now we'll go quick into these other ones. So you have the marketing team, again that's like the unofficial team, right? Their ability to market as a team. They still have the they could choose what they want, simplipreneur, Simply Share, whatever it is, and then they'll follow those guidelines as is. They're basically individual agents is what it is. There's no team leader responsibilities, nothing like that. Okay, domestic team, which is $99 a month, transaction coordination, and everything's included, right? They do have the shared cap of $15,000, so basically it's at $7,500 each if they choose to go with the Simply Share plan. Okay, otherwise they have the simplipreneur. They can also split that if that's what they're looking to do. Okay, so I'm assuming if they have the Simply Share, they do probably have the features and options, everything else available as well on top of the tech suite and healthcare. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that is the option. Now, as far as a domestic team, it doesn't really say what their limits or liability or whatever their things are on that. Typically, a domestic team for most companies, it's going to be a husband and wife. Whereas Epique Realty does go above and beyond that. They change it to, you could be siblings or cousins or something like that as well. Now, I want to go into Epique Realty and their team structures. Okay, you do have the traditional team, which is a fairly normal team. Okay, so they work together, accomplish goals. So the team leader has the $15,000 cap, which does decline with a $149 fee. Okay, they can earn all the different stock awards, all the fees, the power agent status. All the agents can earn the same thing as well. Okay, they can also set their own splits and caps, whereas we do have the 5% minimum for the splits and caps. Okay, the team member benefits are a low $10,000 company cap, whereas if you remember at simpliHOM, they do have the $7,500 cap. Okay, $99 a month for agents, and they do earn the stocks awards and the power agent status. Okay, so they do have the power teams, which is next. Okay, so the team leader is also the same thing. They have the $15,000 gap, which declines monthly fee of $99 now instead of $149. They do also have the double revenue share. Okay, that's on all level 1 recruits. That's a huge bonus. Okay, we'll go into revenue share here shortly. So that's up to $15,000 in free stocks, if also power award agent, which is the same for anybody else if they hit the power award agent, right? But as for a team member here, they're at $5,000 company cap, so the power agent status would be at $5,000, up to $5,000 free stocks. Okay, and here is $99 a month, half off transaction fee. Okay, so that's only $250 instead of the max of $500. So that also is a bonus or a benefit of being a power team. Okay, now the family teams, we're looking here at basically represents a 2-person only family pair, married couple or family duo that work together on each deal. So we are actually coming out with a whole nother revamped family team opportunity, which we will have more information on this very shortly. But basically that family team can go beyond just those 2 people. So maybe you have brother-in-laws or cousins, or maybe you just have an extended family that wants to be all part of the team, and it's not only just 2 people. Maybe it's a husband and wife and a couple of kids that want to be part of the team. Now you will have that option. You will have that option to have that fully extended team, which is a pretty awesome benefit that you didn't have before. So once we have more details on that, we will certainly be able to break that down a little further. Okay, so they do have a similar situation, right? They're splitting this cap in this scenario. This option will still always be available. They do get the stock awards, power agent, team branding, resources, so on and so forth. Okay, unofficial team, which is basically like the couple of surfer dudes, right? It's the marketing team, team branding, share marketing material, no minimum production requirements. So I mean, it's really just an unstructured team, just sharing the name, Surfer Dudes Realty. Okay, that's kind of the idea there. So what's really cool on top of all that, Epique Realty has just released real recently, right? They have a dedicated team support. Okay, so they obviously Epique Realty, a good percentage of our agents are on a team. Okay, so they really want to put a little bit more emphasis on teams. And with that, we do have the dedicated support, that is there for ongoing support. Also there to help with onboarding, because obviously, onboarding with different agents and different, transactions can be a little bit more challenging when a whole team is involved. Okay, especially when you start to get to 20, 30, 40 people. Maybe it's an independent brokerage or something like that, which we always welcome aboard. Let's have that conversation. But anyways, so they do have that ongoing support for that. And another thing that Epique Realty is starting to really fully support is kind of that power team that's kind of going nationally, a nationally focused brand of a large power team. Okay, so that really opens up more avenues to bring people across the country into your power team, sharing leads and stuff like that. So that's an awesome opportunity for those that are looking for team growth, not only locally but nationally. I know there's several teams at Epique Realty that are really starting to take advantage of that. So if that's something of interest to you, reach out to me. Like I said, we have part of my group. We do have, several, teams in my group. We do have several brokers, different founding members. We can certainly help you out if that's something that you're looking to do. So up next, I want to break down the stocks, the equity ownership into the company. That's a big thing that people are looking to be a part of. Now, both companies are private companies, and they both do have plans to go public in the near future. I do not know how long simpliHOM plans on before that opportunity happens. I do know that Epique Realty does have plans to do a reverse merger as a tech company in 2026. Okay, so that's awesome having that opportunity already out there. Whereas simpliHOM, I don't know the status. If you know, drop that down below. I think that would be valuable information for the people to know. That should go without being said, but if you have any information you want to add, just drop it down in the comments below. That way we can certainly have a little better conversation that way, and we can have more visibility for both companies. For stock agent ownership, Epique Realty, as far as I can tell, is the only one that really offers the stock on each sale by sale basis, and also 6 different ways that you can earn stock. Okay, don't be afraid. I will break down simpliHOM as well. But Epique Realty, we do have 6 ways to earn free stock. And that's for joining Epique, hitting an anniversary date, recruiting an agent, selling your first home, capping, and hitting power agent status. So that's the 6 different ways. We also do have a way that we can buy stock on each deal, okay? That's basically the stock equity ownership portion, where you can receive a 20% discount and take that off of 5 or 10% of each commission check to buy company stock at a discount. That way you can really stockpile up that stock. If you really want to learn more about what that opportunity is, check out my video above where I go over the stock opportunity with Epique Realty. Whereas at this time of recording, simpliHOM doesn't really have a lot of options for the stock to purchase the stock. From my understanding, it's kind of just the free stock that you get. And let me back that train up a little bit. So Epique Realty, the free stock has a vesting period of 3 years, whereas the stock that you purchase, say from a closing, it's automatically yours. It's already vested. Okay, so once we go public, you can buy those and sell them right afterwards, right? So like I said, with simpliHOM, I don't see a way for that agent to actually get to buy additional stock for each closing. But what I want to do is I want to jump into the computer and kind of give you a little bit more insight on that, so we can kind of look at the same thing. Okay, so looking here, this is at least currently, sales stock award program and the growth award program. This is, as far as I'm aware, how you get stocks. Okay, so if you have a number of directly sponsored agents, for each agent there's 250 if you're on the Simplepreneur, or 375 with a 1.5 multiplier for the SimpliShare multiplier. Okay, that's what we're comparing today. So 375 for each agent. Okay, and for the sales stock award program, you get stock for hitting certain goals. Okay, so if you hit the cap we're gonna go with SimpliShare, right? You get 1,500 shares for hitting cap. Then you also get 3,750 for hitting 35. I'm assuming 35 plus. There's probably nothing beyond that, but that's what you get for hitting stock on that side. Epique Realty, for instance, like I said, we do have the free stock awards where you earn free shares in the company by simply doing the things you're already doing. 6 ways to earn free stock. Joining Epique, hitting an anniversary date, recruiting an agent, selling your first home, capping, hitting power agent status, and they do have the 3-year vesting, just like the other one does. Here we talk about, can I buy company stock? Yes, you can buy company stock at a 20% discount using commissions. You can use either 5 or 10% of your commission on each sale to purchase company stock. If you can pause and look at the rest of this if you'd like, but we are still a private company. Now, as far as those 6 ways of getting stock, here I wanted to show you what you get for that stock. Okay, so here's 50 shares for joining, 50 shares for anniversary date, 25 for each agent. Selling your first home is 50 shares, capping is 100 shares, and power agent status is up to 1,500 shares or up to 15,000 worth of stock. That's also depends on what your cap is, right? I mean, if your cap is, like mine is now 14,000, mine would be up to 1,400 shares, okay? And that is vested after 3 years. So next, what I wanted to do is, I know we talked about the power award a little bit. I'm not aware of a power award status at simpliHOM. I believe it's just the stock that you get, the 3,750 if you get 35 plus transactions. Again, if I'm wrong, put it down in the comments below. I'm not sure what other benefits you might get for that. But for the power award status, which for Epique Realty is 24 plus deals or 10 million in sales, which makes it much more achievable than many other quote unquote higher end statuses, like the icon agent at eXp Realty. And with that, you do get some extra benefits, right? You do have, basically the double revenue share on your first line. You also have a lower monthly fee of $99 a month. Kind of wanted to just show you in the computer again, so you have a visual appearance of what that looks like. So again, the Power Award, that's rewarding our most productive and influential agents. So you get up to 15,000 in company stock for hitting Power Award. So that's basically 1,500 shares versus the 3,750 that you would get at simpliHOM, okay? You do get the double revenue share for each level 1 agent. No cultural requirements. There's no extra requirements that we're holding hostage for getting all this. Reduced monthly fee, pay only $99 a month instead of $149, and that again is 24 transactions or $10 million in sales. So again, just showing you the computer so you have that transparency of what it looks like to meet that status. So hey, I wanted to pause real quick. Again, this is Travis Junte. I'm with Epique Realty. If you would like to learn more about what Epique Realty does offer its agents, again, we are part of the Power Players group, and we have lots of high quality agents, top producers, brokers, growth leaders, all kinds of different people that are here to help you in your business and with your attraction, if that's something that you're into. All my contact information is down below. Let's have that conversation. And hey, again, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime I put out new stuff. Let's continue on. So next up, I wanted to talk about the tech stack. So both these companies obviously have a really nice tech stack, and I think most companies nowadays are offering reliable or a decent tech stack, right? It's just kind of the way it is. We're in a tech environment nowadays. So they do both offer the tech stack, and I believe they both are using the CRM of Lofty. Maybe it's both the Lofty Enterprise version. I'm not really sure there. simpliHOM does have what they call the Home HQ. It's kind of their agent dashboard where you can kind of go in and do all your agent portal where you're talking to different agents, or maybe if you can access some of your benefits and see some of your deals and how those are going. They do also use Loop, which Epique Realty does use as well. They do have a program called Refresh, what I don't know a ton on, but their Refresh is here, right? I mean, it's you can certainly take a look at it. I mean, their website is listingrefresh.com. Take a look at it, see if that's something that you like. Both companies do have, Dinks.io, and there's other certainly tech things that we're missing going to be on both companies. But that kind of covers simpliHOM to a point, okay? Whereas Epique, on the other hand, they do have the Lofty, of course. They do have Epique Cloud, which is similar to what simpliHOM is, where you're accessing your agent portal, you're talking to agents, passing referrals around, putting in your signs and requesting your signs or your listing photos or things like that. But we do also have Loop, which also is at simpliHOM. We do have Canva Pro. I think I saw that simpliHOM does have Canva as well. We do have Social Bay, which is kind of automating your marketing if you kind of just want to set it and forget it with Social Bay, which they also do with Social Bay. So if you have a listing that's over 400,000, there's free advertising for your listing as well. So I've picked up, just on my past listing here that was above 400, I've already got maybe 8 to 12 leads for that, buyer leads. Of course, most of them are probably junk, but I've called some of them and most of them are like, yeah, I'm fine. But that's just with any online lead. Some of them are valuable, some are not. It is what it is. And we also do have, I believe simpliHOM does have some AI tools as well, but we do have the AI tools. We're simply an AI-based company. There's all kinds of different things that we could talk about with AI photos, and we have AI built into a bunch of our different tools. With our new tools coming up soon, Creator and Graphic. There's AI built into those. We do have the AI certification, which is a nationally recognized program, which is here for Epique Realty agents for free. We do also have what they call the click offers, which is providing different offers, which is also going into bridge opportunities, equity opportunities to really help our sellers in different situations. We do also have a Redo, which is another excellent program to really kind of help clients visualize their repair before they actually go in to repair it. But again, this is kind of getting into the weeds. I certainly don't want to bore you with all kinds of different tech stuff. I'm not really techie myself, so it's tough to talk about. It is what it is. So next I want to go into training and mentoring. And what I always say when I get to these different parts, every company is going to have training and mentoring, or training to a point, and certainly some mentoring, where the training, if you don't have it as a cloud-based brokerage, you're going to be out of business. So as far as simpliHOM, I know they do have some weekly calls. They have the weekly marketing call with the CEO. They do have a marketing director that helps with some of that stuff as well. Both companies do offer free CE courses for their agents as well. But what I think Epique Realty really sets themselves apart, they do have the Forever Mentorship, the Area Leader Program, which is really helps support agents, no matter where they are across the country. These are agents that have experience in either leadership or lots of experience in real estate. Usually it's a combination of both. We do also have our Earth to Orbit program, which is Rob Stein's, they got the Power Academy. Now we're going into Power Academy 2. Which is really bringing it to a new level, bringing it to the state level, this is an interactive training program. It's really something to see. I know I've explained it on other videos, but basically it's step by step on how you would do like an open house, or maybe a sales call, or maybe your meeting people at the gym or whatever it might be. It just goes step by step to help people get to 30 deals without paying for leads. We also do have, the free coaching calls every week with our power coach, Rob Stein. If you haven't heard of him, please look him up. And that's really just kind of the beginning. It just keeps getting better. I know I made videos, probably 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 months ago, where the training was really just kind of some recorded training. Really wasn't much online. It wasn't much available. It was just a couple of Zoom calls that a couple people would do, and that's all we had. And it's crazy to think, how far we've come since then. So up next, which is really fun, we're going to go over the benefits of both companies. And this is really what really kind of excites me, because companies are really starting to add more benefits. I'm not sure, when simpliHOM started adding some of these benefits. I know most of their growth was in 2024. So I want to say maybe they're starting to add some of these benefits, maybe later 2023, 2024, or whatever that might be. What I want to do is I want to kind of go into the website to kind of really help you, kind of guide you through what both of these companies offer. I want to start with simpliHOM. Now, hopefully for the most part, my mug is out of here. But there's a couple different pages you can look at. So both companies do have digital billboards, which is awesome to have. One thing that Epique Realty does step it up in, they do have the listing billboards, which is awesome. Having your listing pop up on the freeway or whatever it might be, that really kind of sets a company apart. Lead programs, they both do have an extensive lead program, which I was gonna break it down separately, but I'll just kind of touch on this here while we're going through the different benefits. So they do have, I'm assuming they run somewhat similar, where they have, for sale by owner leads, maybe expired leads, that kind of stuff, where that goes into the lead pond. They do have some pay at closing and pay at ad sources available for you to boost your businesses when you're ready. So I'm not sure what those look like, but that's kind of how those work there. I mean, those are at no cost to the agents, which is an awesome thing. It's awesome to be supplying these leads. And like I said, these go into a lead pond, which you have to go and speed the lead. Basically, you have to go in and claim it. Okay. They have the pre-IPO stocks. Okay. We talked about the stock opportunity, right? And that's where I got the brochure. Revenue share, we'll dig into revenue share here soon. The team plans, we talked about that. Domestic team, cost of living discounts, so that's another little thing that's a little extra. I'm not sure what's all involved in that, but you can save some money, discounts on groceries, travel, entertainment, and more, okay? So that's another little thing. AI headshots, I'm not sure how their AI headshots work, but I mean, it's always cool to have, okay? We also have free AI headshots, which has gotten a reboost in the AI headshots there. Both offer CE. Both companies do offer healthcare, and I'm almost positive these are the exact same healthcare options. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna find a difference between the two. So they both offer it. That's awesome. Professional email. I mean, I think everybody has that. Okay, I mean, we have a professional email as well. So that's part of that. They do have more here as we go. Like I said, Dot Loop, they do have the TCs, which we also have the TCs, which is awesome. Dot Loop Premium, AI tools, I'm not sure what their AI tools are, but we'll just assume that they're awesome. Automated testimonials, which is kind of cool, a bit, I don't know, that's not like a groundbreaker. It's one of those benefits I don't really care either way. We do have some of those at our company as well, and I'm not sure if the Showing Time Plus, if that is kind of part of the feedback thing. I'm not really sure on that, but basically it's your showing app. I'm not sure what the plus is, but anyways, powerful CRM, which is we also have Lofty website, same thing. Marketing platform, I'm not sure what they got for a marketing platform. Of course, if you have information, drop it in the comments. Thanks.io, we also have Thanks.io. SimplyCard, another one don't really carry the way, but we both have it. And let me look here. Home HQ, this is the app I was telling you about. This is there, where you can go to submit deals, agent services, client services, that kind of stuff. This is live and recorded training for simpliHOM University. Access the Regis locations worldwide, which I never really cared about that benefit, but they do have it, okay? If that's something that you're looking for. Marketing training, which, they go over, every company should have some training like that. So weekly mastermind calls with the CEO, I did touch on that as well. So let's jump over to Epique Realty. I'll try to make this quick because there's a lot going on here. So the daily training, we talked about some of that. On-demand videos, we talked about a lot of that. Third-party training. Forever mentorship, we talked about that with the Area Leader program. That's an amazing, amazing benefit. Okay, nobody else is doing that. Free TC services, bonus benefits. I believe these are covered later even, but car washes, sign install. So that's another thing that I didn't catch on simpliHOM. If you go in here, right, I can come down here and see, okay, sorry, let's go over here. simpliHOM, so the CRM.loop, Showing Time Plus, marketing platform, refresh, AI tools, automated engine, experienced, responsive brokers included. Well, everybody should have that. Legal support, I feel like everybody has that too. Healthcare, digital billboards. So custom sign panels, okay, that's what I saw that. So they do offer you sign panels, which is cool and all. We also have sign panels, but I guess we kind of go a little further because we have the sign panels that we do offer. We also have the sign installation, so those are installed for free as well. All you got to do is pop your little sign writer, whether you hang it from the bottom or put it up on top. So you do have options there. Free leads, same thing. But what also what we have with that, we do have some partner leads. Like we do have some realtor in Prime Street available. We do have attraction leads coming up really soon, which is going to be awesome. But what I wanted to touch on there as well is we do have a partnership with Realty.com. So we do have leads coming in there as well. So a lot of people are closing a lot of deals with those leads. So those are buyer and seller leads. Okay. CE courses, 24/7 roadside assistance. Who the heck doesn't want that, right? Social media ads, I talked about that for my recent listing. Headshots, got that going on. Healthcare, which like I said is the same. Primary care, we're not going to break it down, it's all the same. Vision insurance, we also have dental insurance, and that's an extra fee, okay? That's $30. Basically it comes out to $30 for a person if you can add dental and vision, but that's 100% covered for teeth cleaning and stuff like that, okay? Air vet, that's awesome. A lot of people have pets covered, don't worry about them. Ken Whitfield Fund. That's a fund for first broker that we had passed away, unfortunately. There's a fund that's put together for estate brokers and area leaders for them and their families. NEMO, we have Natural Disaster Relief Fund. We've had the unfortunate incidents with North Carolina and California recently. So basically we have a fund that's put together and a task force, okay? So there's a company match. We have an option to donate on each closing to this NEMO fund, okay? So that's a company match. For every dollar donated by agents, the company will match it up to $1 million, effectively doubling the impact of each donation. We do have the task force, like I said, those are agents in these certain areas that are in there, in the trenches, helping people out. Epique AI, we talked about a lot of this. AI virtual staging, I believe simpliHOM has that as well. We talked about Redo as well. I'm not going to sit here and go and learn more. Lofty, we both have Lofty. I'm not sure if they have the free .com domain. We do have that. We do have the fully customizable website, the cloud app, which we talked about, the Epique Cloud, Canva Pro, website again, click offers. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in here. Thanks.io, Epique Card, like I said, they both have that. So that kind of gives you an idea of the benefits. Like I said, there's 75 plus benefits, so they're not even all in here. You can do a whole thing covering all that, so I'm not here to go through everything. So next, one of my favorite ones is the revenue share. Now, I'm super glad that you guys have been hanging out with me for this long. Maybe you skipped ahead, maybe you didn't. But next, we're going to cover the revenue share. They both offer an excellent opportunity for revenue share. So Epique Realty, on one hand, they do have 5 levels of revenue share. simpliHOM has 7 levels of revenue share. Epique Realty, you have up to 50%. simpliHOM, you have up to 80% of revenue share, which is pretty awesome. You know, there are some caveats and some differences between the two, so make sure you understand what those look like, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump into the computer so you have a better idea of what these revenue share platforms look like. This one will start out with Epique Realty. So Epique Realty's rev share platform, okay? Basically how it works, okay, so there's 5 different levels and there's 10% of company commission on each level, so that's 5 levels deep. So let's say that the agent is at $15,000 cap, that's up to $1,500 per agent on every single level. Okay, so that is important to note. All levels are unlocked all the time. It's always the same amount. There's no restrictions, no games, nothing going on beyond that. No games, no roadblocks. There's no buffering, no plan changes, restrictions. That's important to note. No plan changes. Okay, hold on tight for that one. Retire for real. I almost said wheel, not just another hamster wheel. No more recruiting, willable income, generational wealth. And I covered that in numerous other videos. But you do have the option to retire. I don't know what simpliHOM has in place. They probably do, but I don't know as far as for retirement. Frequently asked questions, what happens when the cap agent I recruit hits their cap? You are getting 10% of the company's commission. Once they hit the cap, you do not get any more money. How is this sustainable? Epique was built to work off only 50% revenue in the form of commission, whereas simpliHOM is off of 80%. We designed our model in order to give away half of our revenue back to our agents since the very beginning. If someone leaves, basically the company takes that spot, which also helps the sustainability. Revenue share is paid monthly. I'm assuming they're both probably paid monthly. There is live reporting for that as well. Okay, this kind of gives you more details. I'm not going to go into all that. So let's go into simpliHOM. So here's their brochure. Hopefully my face is out of the way. So basically you have your recruit chooses a plan which will determine which plan you'll be paid from on your residuals from their sales. Repeat the process, okay? So what they have, all agents you directly recruit will be added to your first rank of downlines, and the ones they recruit will go on to the first, your second rank, and so on. That's the same thing for Epique Realty, okay? So revenue share. So what they have is kind of a one-by-one unlocking system, and what that means, so you recruit one agent, and let's say that agent recruits 500 agents. You don't get anything from anything else unless you open these other levels, okay? So, but if you open 2 levels, you bring in 2 agents, you get 2 levels, and so on, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you get first 5 levels open, is you have 5 frontline agents. What I'm not sure of, and of course drop a comment down below, is if those agents have to be producing agents. I do not know the answer to that question, but this is how it's broken down. So they do have the 7 levels, and this should equal out to, I believe, 80%, 40, 50, 60, or maybe it's 100% this comes out to, but this one should total out to about 80% of that $15,000 cap, if I'm not mistaken. That being said, there is a lot of opportunity, especially on these first 3 levels as an agent, and then when you get down here to 6 and 7. But how many agents do you know that have 20 or 30 plus agents that they've recruited? That's why they have up to 80%, because they have this large sum on the 6th and 7th level. If you look here, I'm not sure what that math adds up to, but if you look here, these add up to, I believe, like 72 or something hundred. So that's a little bit less than 50% for that. So I mean, for the most part, they're probably paying closer to 50%, maybe a little bit less in revenue share for their agents, because there's not a lot of agents that have got 20 or 30 plus agents. If you think of EXP, for example, I know I did a video on this a long time ago. Their alpha agents that had maybe 20 or 30 plus agents was really a small fraction. There was probably a couple hundred agents out of maybe 80,000 agents that were actually reaching that upper tier status. So there is great potential here, but you have to just be a mega recruiter to make that worthwhile. Another thing to note, we're only looking at simpliShare. So if you think of LPT, for instance, most of their agents, I would have to say almost 80-90% of their agents are probably on the simplepreneur or their simpliShare or their lower cap at LPT. Of course, drop in the comments below. I'd be curious what percent of agents are on the simplepreneur plan. So I mean, if rev share is a big deal to you, this could make a big difference. Now, I believe you can also switch from simplepreneur to simpliShare, at least once a year, whatever that is. I know you can't flip it on and off, but that could be a good opportunity for those that might be interested in revenue share but want to start off with a lower cap. I believe that's why they have that option. But most agents actually stay on the simplepreneur, so that's just kind of part of it. So if you have this, your payout really isn't that great for most of your agents. Again, if that matters to you. Okay, so this is the power one. This is kind of what I talked about. Each referral unlocks a new tier, escalating your earnings across 5 levels. Simplify to amplify with our one-by-one unlocking system, where every agent brings you closer to limitless potential. simpliShare perks. Of course, this is again with simpliShare with the higher level TCs, Lofty, all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to read it all, but this kind of gives you an idea on a checklist of what's offered for that. So that was a super long video. I appreciate you hanging out till the end, or maybe you just fast forwarded to the end. But what I wanted to talk about really quickly next is kind of what the opportunity is going forward. And of course, you gotta have to decide for yourself. Obviously, I'm biased towards Epique Realty. I see that the growth pattern that they're on. I know simpliShare or simpliHOM has the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company. I don't really even know what that means, if not really even sure. But I know they've been in business for a long time. I believe since 2018 is when they started. I think the national growth kind of started probably later 2022 and 2023. So we both kind of started that national growth around the same time. That's important to know. I'm not sure, and it probably doesn't really matter how many agents simpliHOM has. Epique Realty at the time of this recording is probably right around 4,000. I know we just had the annual shareholders meeting not that long ago. That's right around that number that it was. So we're experiencing excellent growth. We are soon going into it globally, right? We're going into Canada, and I know there's other countries that have waiting lists ready for us to open up there. So we're trying to do that strategically. And we don't even have all the states open yet. So that's another part that we're working on. We don't have many states left, but those states will be coming soon here in 2025 as well. So as far as the growth opportunity, I think that's an amazing opportunity here at Epique Realty. Again, simpliHOM is also another great opportunity. They have great leadership there. Certainly nothing against it, but hey, I'm doing the video. I got to make a choice. Be interested what your choice is down below. Maybe it's simpliHOM, maybe it's Epique Realty, maybe it's something else completely different. If you would like to learn anything more about simpliHOM, again, like I said, I do have agents I can have you talk to. Have that conversation. Make sure you do that due diligence yourself so you find out what is best for you. And again, if you were interested in Epique Realty, let's have a conversation. We can talk about what you're looking for in a brokerage and if this might be a fit for you. Like I said, we don't take everyone. Not a fit for everyone. I'm going to tell you flat out, if it's not a fit for you, that's completely fine. But until next time, we'll see you on the Agent Collab. Again, this is Travis Junty with Epique Realty signing off.